right, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite dark sorcerer here, and it's about 10:56 p.m. And tonight I want to take a little bit of a break from doing these demonic researches and videos on demonology for you. And tonight I thought I'd take a brief intermittence and do a book review because I know a lot of people are looking for some very good works on witchcraft. And, one of the biggest questions that I get is, where do I start? How do I get into it? And what are some good sources? Well, tonight, I'm going to give you a good source. This author has been around a very long time. He is one of the most renowned and respected practitioners of witchcraft, in my opinion. He's right up there with Raymond Buckland, Gerald Gardner, Scott Cunningham, you know, Hans Holzer, and you know, um, quite a few others that I can think of. So this book is called Mastering Witchcraft, a practical guide for witches, warlocks, and covens. And it's written by Paul Huson, illustrated by Paul Huson. And it looks like this. Let me see if I can get a good, there we go. Okay. Now that you've seen it, why don't I get into it a little bit and kind of discuss my perspectives of this book and why I think it's good for you. Okay. Now, in an age where everything seems to be regurgitated or made up, watered down even, Paul Huson has literally kept it real. Okay. I'm an old school type practitioner. Okay. I'm old school. I'm hands on. I don't just back it up with words, but I also back it up with actions as well. But Paul Huson, one doesn't want to call him a godfather of witchcraft because that's basically what he is. I mean, I've been practicing for 30 years, but this guy, he's in his 60s, 70s, he's been practicing for like 40 plus years. Okay. A lot longer than me. He hasn't watered it down. He has broken it down to its most simplistic nature, from the tools to the wardrobe to the very practices. Okay. And I want to give you a little bit of a highlight of this. Okay. So I'm going to skip the forward and go straight to the contents. The introduction, first steps, preliminary preparations, divination. You've all heard me speak on divination in the past in my own videos. Spells for lovers, counter magic and protection. You've heard me speak on this before as well. Vengeance and attack, the coven and how to form one. And then you have the Appendix 1, the planetary hours. The Appendix 2, glossary of witch words and terms. Okay, there's roughly about 253 pages in this book, and about 256. Okay, 57 area, because the last page, which is 57, is basically about the author, guild, backingprint.com editions and stuff like that, and a little bit of information about the author. But the thing I liked really about this individual's books, his works, is he gets into a lot of detail. I'm talking herbalism. He's getting into alchemical practices, math even. I mean, those of you who don't mind math, trust me, um, there's a lot of books out there that have a lot more mathematician, aspects to them, like Richard Cavendish's The Black Arts. Okay, deals with a lot of numerology. But this book here, he literally dubs it down into fractions when it comes to herbalism. He dubs it, for example, let's see here. Let's go with, let me see if I can find a herbal section here. Here we go. On page 133, spells for lovers. Okay. 7 parts lavender, 6 parts rosemary, 5 parts rose petals, 3 parts loverage, 2 parts verbena leaves, 1 pinch orris root, 1 pinch thyme, 1 pinch mint, 1 pinch sage, and 1 pinch majoram. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know what these are, these are old school names for plants. One of the books I would recommend if you want to get into old school names is the Herbalism, the Encyclopedia of Herbs and Herbalism by Scott Cunningham. Or if you want to get into the Greek and Latin, names, get into the Complete Book of Witchcraft by Raymond Buckland, because of the fact that he's got like 20 pages on just medical usage, not just the medical names, but the Latin terms and all that stuff. Incredible. But this one here, he's even got stuff for carnunos, useful sachet powder ingredients. I mean, he's got stuff that's in here that would make Aphrodite blush. Okay. But for the most part, he keeps it simplistic. On page 105, you have the whole names thing. Those of you who understand the squares, okay? Within most arcane grimoire systems like the Enochian keys or the clavicle of Solomon, they have the squares where you have to write the name of the servitor that you're calling upon, the spirit. And he literally spells it out for you and how to do it. But it's not just that. He's got necromancy incense in here. He's got Vasico conjuration incense. Let's see. He's got necromancy of intelligence, dreaming true. He's got divination stuff, how to set up an altar. I mean, this guy's got everything from the lamps to the wands to one of my favorite things is the runes and their meanings. He even teaches you how to draw them and to create them. That's something that's rare. Okay, most people when they get into witchcraft today, they want to create their own gods, their own pantheon. I had an individual earlier today that basically flat out told me that they want to create their own pantheon, and it's like, you don't. These pantheons are not for recreation or to create them, you know. But people are going to do what they want to do anyways. So be forewarned on that aspect. Another one is the Square of Mercury. Okay, the Square of Mercury. Okay, love that one. Mastering Witchcraft also has things like the Workbook Pinnacle. Okay, love this one. How to make your magic circle. The athame and what it entails. The working tool inscriptions. Okay, And obviously, I'm going towards the front of the book here, so from the rear. But the witch's cup, otherwise known as the chalice, the thurible, okay, the manner of dress, the jewels, the witch's jewels, you know, to the witch's runes, the signs of identification, and a whole bunch of other things that most covens and Wiccans really do not cover. Okay. I've hung out with a lot of different Wiccans and pagans over the years who are in covens who are considered to be high priests and priestesses within their own foundations. And it's like nobody teaches how to identify a fellow witch, a fellow practitioner of sorcery. No one really teaches the purpose of the tools anymore. Paul Huson does. Paul Huson does. Not only does he go into details in how to construct an altar, but he teaches you how to construct the circle, how to invoke spirits. He even's got other books that teach you how to use cartomancy, how to use runes, how to use this talking board, otherwise known as a spirit board or the Ouija board in modern times. Okay? He's got things on offerings. He's got books on herbalism. Okay? This guy's got a few good books that really hit the nail on the head. I like him because he's straightforward. He's right in your face telling you what is and what is not. He's not sitting there trying to blow smoke up your skirt. He's not sitting there trying to, how should I say this, brainwash you into something that's untrue. He's not selling you products. He's not selling you witchcraft and why you should get into witchcraft. No, he sticks to the basics. He sits there, he writes it out simplistically and directly to the point. Okay? So if you're really interested in witchcraft or even if witchcraft is not your final destination, like let's say for an example you're into voodoo or Santa Morte, hoodooism, quimbanda, dark shamanism or black shamanism. Okay, this book is a fundamental basis on how to construct your altar, how to construct your circles, understanding the platform of ritual, of divination, and most importantly, numerology, astrology, and a whole wide range of other sources. He's the best one out there that I can tell you about right here from the old school system of magic, okay, of practices. I mean, obviously, those of you who have been around the Eastern Seaboard know also Christopher Penziac. I've talked on him quite a bit. I love his work because he overflows you with knowledge. Okay, and I'll do a book review on his stuff as well. I've got like 7 of his books. I think it's. Let me see here. Let's see. There's 6, 7. No, scratch that. I've got 8 of his books. Okay, and he's a modern day pagan, a neo pagan. Okay, a shaman. So I'll do some research. I'll do a video on his in the future. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about this guy. Okay, and that's what I'm doing because I'm not gonna sit there and blow smoke up your skirt just like this guy doesn't. No, you want to learn. You want to know what witchcraft is and what it is not. You want to get into the practice without having to spend a shitload of fucking money. This is the book that you want. Hands down. This is the book that you need, that you want to look into. And this is my professional opinion. When I first got into witchcraft, I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have a guide. I didn't have gurus. A lot of my mistakes were that I was buying books on just about everything before I came across Paul Huson, before I came across my first teacher. Ironically, it was a neo-pagan. And then I found Satanism, and then necromancy and voodoo, and a few others. The best source that gets into what it is, what it entails, is this book here. It's up to you if you want to go out and get it or don't. But this is my book review. I highly recommend Paul Huson to you. All right? And I also noticed Neo is on here. The Egyptian mother, the Egyptian goddess of witchcraft. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I like Isis. She's right up there with Hecate and Freya. Just take it one day at a time, Neil. Trust me, I've been there myself. You know, when your world just, yeah, gets blown out of the water. Yeah. Nathan, how you doing? But yeah, anyways, Mastering Witchcraft. You know, he's the author of a few good books, Talismans, Filters, Divination, Necromancy, Waxen Images, Knots, Fascination, Conjuration, Magical Familiars, Spells to arouse passion or lust, attain vengeance, and of course, counter spells to exercise and annul the malice of others. That was actually the publisher doing his thing. Now, I bought this book for $18.95, and that was right here in the U.S. So you can by now you could probably get this thing cheaper on Amazon, perhaps even eBay. Hell, AsAgreen.net may even have it. It's been so long since I've been on their website. Something for you to look into. But well, thank you, Nathan. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the material. So, anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. That's my book review on Paul Huson's book, Mastering Witchcraft. Like I said, go out, get it. Don't. It's up to you. But as I've had a lot of these questions come my way by people who are interested in it, I've even had people look at me and ask if I would buy them for them. And it's like, no, you can do it yourself.